what's up guys? If you guys saw my last video that I did about my watch story, as I mentioned in that video, I was just fascinated with space and all things related to space, NASA, the Apollo program, the space shuttle program, and of course my dad's Speedmaster, which that one really was the first watch that got me into watches in the first place and got me really interested in this hobby and eventually being a collector as an adult. So when Casio just recently announced their new G-Shock NASA limited edition right here, I just couldn't hit that order button fast enough. So this finally arrived, and let's do a unboxing and talk a little bit about it. All right, so this is the box that the NASA G-Shock arrives in. And as you can see, it has a picture of our beautiful planet Earth on it. And I believe the photo might have been the blue marble, the famous blue marble photo from Apollo 17, although don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure if that is right. Now opening it up, unveils the G-Shock tin, which is very similar to the Saturn V rocket, one of the stages of the Saturn V rocket, which I have a Lego model of right here. And now opening the tin up, you have the international warranty card and the watch itself. That's this plastic here. And here's the watch itself. More on that in a little bit. Hand tag. And I had already opened this up, so I already have removed the hand tag. And then, of course, the pretty thick instruction booklet that comes with it for the 3229 module that powers this particular model. So now, let's go ahead and talk more about this watch. All right, so I switched over to the macro lens, and let's take a closer look at this watch. First of all, it's a variant of the DW5600 square models. The design, as you can see, is a very clean design. It's a crisp matte all white all the way around the case and the band itself. Now the case, let's get a closer look at it. The case itself is 42.8 millimeters. And thickness is 13.4 millimeters according to the specs. The display surround is really free of any Casio related logos. In fact, the only logo that it has is the red worm logo from NASA, the red worm NASA logo that NASA used between 1975 to 1992 and just reinstated this year for a future mission with the Dragon crew, I believe. So let's do a closer look at that logo right there. And then on the lower band, it says National Aeronautics and Space Administration. And on the keeper, it has Old Glory on it. So super cool. And then on the case back, it features a engraving. Try to get that as good as possible. It has an engraving of the moon on the case back. So in terms of functionality, pretty standard. Let me go ahead and switch hands here. So on the home screen, it shows obviously the time, the date, month and day, and then pressing the mode button down here takes you to the alarm function. I have mine turned off. Pressing it again takes you to the countdown function, and then pressing it again takes you to the stopwatch function, the last function of the watch. And lastly, pressing it a final time takes you back to the home screen. So now let's take a look at this on the wrist. So let me take off. By the way, I'm wearing my 1974 Speedmaster here. So You can see that guy. And let's put this over here. And be right back. And now I'm back with this beautiful watch on my wrist. And like many G-Shocks, it is just a super cool and super fun watch to wear. And that's what I just generally think of most G-Shocks. They're just so cool and so fun at a very affordable price point. And now one last thing, let's take a look at the backlight. So the backlight, when you turn it on, it has the moon in the background. So let's kind of show that here. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like a moon in the background right here. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn off all the lights using some magic, and let's take a look at this watch in the dark, if you will. And there it is in the dark, and hopefully you guys can get a better look at the moon there in the LED display, in the LED backlight, and you can kind of see that the moon in the background there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. As always, if you like this video, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. In some of these videos, you know, I really like to kind of tie in some history and culture. So as a segue to the final piece, here are my personal favorite moments of NASA history. So in 3, 2, and 1, go!
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
11, 10, 9, ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Oh boy. Oh boy, it looks good, Wally.
30 seconds. Forward. Hey. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. APA at a descent. Mode control both auto. Descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in.
We've had shutdown.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Okay, everybody, T1. Stand by for T1.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
Armstrong is on the moon. Neil Armstrong, 38-year-old American, standing on the surface of the moon. On this July 20th, 1969.
That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start. We have main engine start. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Pad from acoustical energy. We're go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Endeavour, completing Kibo and fulfilling Japan's hope for an out-of-this-world space laboratory. Landing gear down and locked. Main gear touchdown. Hurley now deploying the drag chute. Ferguson rotating the nose gear down to the deck. Nose gear touchdown.
Having fired the imagination of a generation, a ship like no other, its place in history secured, the space shuttle pulls into port for the last time, its voyage at an end.